Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the TateOnChain podcast. I'm your host, Tate, and today I am welcoming back Manu Cabrera, the visionary and CEO behind Kabila, the leading NFT toolkit and launchpad on Hedera. Manu, how you doing today?
Good, good, very good, man. Thanks a lot for having me. It's been a while since the last time we were in this in your channel. So happy to be here, man.
Most definitely. And why don't we just start out for those who don't already know, what do you offer at Kabila? Can you possibly just give us that 30 to 60-second rundown elevator pitch that you tell people who may be curious but don't necessarily know?
Yeah. So we are trying to solve three things for creators and brands. So first one is access to funding for their projects. So with NFTs, you have access now to crowdfunding with the community in an easier way. I wouldn't say it's easier, but it's a lot more than if you go through traditional fundraising with business angels and VCs and the whole thing. So now you have people who know you, who know what you do, who love what you do, and they can be part of that. So that, I think, for me, that's amazing. So we're trying to make it's very, very easy for creators and brands. The second thing is we've been building communities for a long time that they don't belong to us. They're not our communities. The connections are managed and owned by these platforms. So we spend a lot of time, we spend a lot of money, a lot of energy for years, and we are building in someone else you know plot. It's not ours. So with what we are calling brand NFTs, which are regular NFTs. We just call them brand NFTs so we can differentiate them from other type of NFTs.
Sure.
You have a public certificate that says whoever owns that certificate, it's part of my community. So now you own your community. And that fixes the third thing, which is monetization. If you own the connection with your audience, with your holders, now you can start defining the rules. So now it's not the platform who puts the rules. It's you who decides, okay, this is my community. If you provide me some great features and great commission rates and just fees that are not crazy, I'll stay here. If not, don't worry, I'll disconnect, I'll connect to other place, and I'll be going with my community. So I think there's a lot of stuff. There's so much infrastructure that can be built around that, and I think Hedera, it provides so many. It provides the best infrastructure for building this tool. So sorry for the long thing. It wasn't 30, 60 seconds, but
All good.
I can make it in less than 10 seconds. We provide everything to create, launch, and manage tokenized communities. So
That's the
that's
best
that's
way
the
of
whole
putting
thing we
it.
do at Kabila. Yeah.
Amazing. And I can attest to that. I definitely truly appreciate what you guys have to offer at Kabila, from the launchpad to the NFT token creation services to pretty much everything. You have it all down pat, and it's a seamless process from start to finish. And shout out to all the explainer videos that Jack and the rest of the team have made
Yeah.
to really guide that journey as well. You probably noticed the bucket hat. The reason why I'm wearing this today compared to my typical Royal Labs hat is because we're about to dive into the oasis, the desert.
Nice,
And
man.
I got to stay
Nice.
protected from that sun because it's going to get hot. But
Yeah, man.
but it's been
I
over a
love that.
year since I last hosted you on my show, and I'd love to
Yeah.
know, what would you say has been the biggest accomplishment since our previous show?
Well, that's a good question. I would say, we, I mean, one of the biggest accomplishments that I would say is that we kept pushing whatever happened. Like, as you know, it's not easy.
Yeah.
We're just a regular startup. We have any kind of problems that any regular startup have. Besides that, we are working on a not very well known place. Like it's a niche inside a niche inside a niche. It's crypto, Web3, Hedera, NFTs. So it's not easy, but we truly believe in what we're doing. I think me and the whole team, we know we have a very clear mission, and that, I think, helped a lot to just keep pushing on the good days and the bad days. And I think that's why we keep bringing new stuff every single week, every single month. So managing to go through the bear market, I think it's the most important milestone, I think, or a thing that we've achieved.
Yeah, it's
So, yeah.
it's a make or break process for a lot of projects who aren't able to make it through that bear market, whether it be, sustaining revenue to be able to pay employees or just sustain the project in general. Yeah, that's one
Yeah.
of the hardest. That's one of the hardest things, I'd say, and I can attest
Yeah.
to that as well. I'm curious, you kind of mentioned it already, how niche your market currently is with being crypto, Web3, NFTs, and then exclusively Hedera at the moment. What's it like explaining what you do for a living to ordinary people? Like what do you say? Like what because it's hard for myself. I typically just stick with my day job and I'm just like, yeah, I detail cars for a living because I don't like getting into the nitty-gritty because then that's when people want to sit down for 30 minutes to an hour and
Yes,
really
yeah,
figure out what you do for a living. But I'm curious to know, how do you explain that to others?
that's a good question. A lot of time, my girlfriend, friends of my girlfriend, come and say, "Hey, she told me what you do, but I still have no idea. Can you explain me exactly what you do?"
Yeah.
And as you're saying, if I know I'm gonna have 10 to 15 minutes, maybe I start. If not, normally the easy way I normally say the fastest thing is we help other founders, fundraise, crowdfund with NFTs, or we help them, but because if I start talking about, ownership
Yeah.
and that gets a bit more complicated. But yeah, I because the problem, I mean, I think it's a internet was quite, I think it was easier to understand. Blockchain, you need to use it to understand it. You need to spend some time using the technology and seeing some use cases to really make it, to really start to understand, about ownership. But I also think that we need products, easy to use products. For example, with plazas, I think many of the things that were so abstract to explain, it will be a lot. Now we are seeing, we have been showing to some creators some of the first version of plazas, and it makes it a lot easier to visualize. It's hard, as you know. It's hard to explain exactly what you do. Yeah, for people who are not in Web3, not in crypto at all.
Hopefully someday it'll be a lot easier. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's definitely can be a challenge at times because then you
yeah,
have to break down what an NFT is, what Hedera is. There's a lot of other things you got to break down besides what you do
yeah,
individually. But
yeah.
you already kind of mentioned it regarding the products. How does Kabila keep its products simple but yet effective at the same time?
So we try to make them, as you're saying, we try to remove everything that it's not, very very important for using the product. If we can remove as many pieces as we can and the product still solves the problem, then that's the final version. And there's still many features that we would like to simplify, but normally it takes a lot more time to remove things than to add things. um but yeah, I mean, I think we work, for example, in terms of how we create the UI and the UX of our products. uh, Regular front end developer, but I know how to design a few things, so I jump on a call with Adrian, I jump on a call with Alex, with other team members, so we start assign everyone once we have a first draft, gives their comments. Okay, I like this, no, no, no. And we have like a very fast process in getting the first screens done. And then the other thing is we try not to take a lot of time on having the first product out, because then creators, clients will refine the product, so they will probably tell us, okay, I like this, I don't like this, I don't understand this. So yeah, we somehow try to iterate as fast as we can.
So user feedback and having a strong team behind you. Those are two vital points to really keeping it simple yet effective at the same time. Would you say?
Yeah, yeah, obsessed team, I would say.
Yeah. Well, that's another great transition point. Your team.
Yeah,
You're the CEO. You're the man at the very top of the at the very top of the totem pole, but you also work together with everybody else, a part of your team. What's your
yeah.
approach to leading a team in Web3 successfully and with, more or less a proven track record of success? How do you approach managing and leading that team to where you've gotten today?
I would say that I before Kabila, I've had other business, and I learned a lot. I
Sure.
had great partners, I had not so great partners, and you learn a few things there. So now, I think that experience, it's helping me a lot. And now we have different challenges. For example, it's the first time I build a company where we all do remote work. It's good because it makes you a lot more effective if you have clear goals, weekly meetings where everyone knows what they have to do. I mean, that's something that there's been any single week that we don't have the Monday weekly meeting. Everyone after that meeting knows what are the goals for that week, and then we review if there's something else there. So we try to be effective there. We try to, this yesterday we were in Madrid with the team, so we were meeting real life. So we try sometimes, to meet each other, and go for dinner or something.
Of course.
Um, but I think one of the most important things is that having a clear mission, so that everyone knows why we're here every single day. I think that's very important, because again, in a space like this, there's so many things coming up every new day. There's so many opportunities that you could be working on, and that can, deviate you from the focus. Because many people were saying, okay, you have built so many products. Yes, but they are all aligned towards our mission, which is allow creators to create, launch, and manage their tokenized communities. So if we created a wallet, if we created, different products, is so that we make life easier for them. They come and they don't have to go to an exchange to open a crypto account. They don't have to go to another wallet to open a wallet. They don't have to go to tools to create the launchpad. They don't have to go to another marketplace. So we're trying. It's not we want to take everything. It's what we want is to provide the best experience, not only for the creator but also for their user base, so
Yeah.
that everything is smooth and it's easy for them. So I try to have the team always, to know that our mission is that one is to help creators, and everyone is aligned. We have very good communication. I also have to say that I am lucky, because it was kind of a coincidence. I didn't know most of my co-founders, Adrian, Fran, Rafa. I didn't know them,
Yeah.
2 or 3 years ago. So I first met Adrian on a crypto forum, complete random stuff. And then we started working. I shared some ideas. And then he presented me to Fran. Hey, I know this guy. He's very good. And now Fran is our CDO. It's very, it's one of the best developers I've met. Then he brought Rafa. Rafa brought Patri. So I don't know. I think we've managed to create a team where we like working with each other, and they're all very serious about the work they do. Like they're somehow obsessed in a good way, I would say.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
Everything happens for a reason at the end of the day. You connect with all your partners today that you have for a specific reason. It's because you were trying to find that group of guys, or maybe those specific individuals, to fit upon your team and vice versa, and then collectively come together to build that perfect product that you all truly appreciate and love from the bottom of your hearts. I'm curious to know, how big's the team so far? I know it's probably grown a lot since our last call.
so right now we have 5 developers.
Okay.
Then me is doing many different stuff,
Yeah.
and then we have Nico on the Spanish community, managing the community. Jack now with the bringing projects to Kabila, and then New managing the content. So yeah, 8. I think we are 8 right now.
That's incredible. And I applaud you on that, because it takes a lot of, one, capital, but two, time and energy to be able to manage that entire team as well and make sure the
Yeah,
boat continues to float. And it's one, I think you guys are approaching one market that not many people on Hedera are, and that's the Spanish speaking audience, especially for NFT Launchpad and token creation in general. It's
yeah,
really cool how you guys have offered that, a very seamless service out to the Spanish speaking audience as well, by having an exclusive Spanish speaking community and a community manager out there answering any questions, comments, and concerns that they may have. It really makes the overall onboarding process so much easier for those who are, is a very predominantly big, I guess, a big audience for this Web3 ecosystem that maybe isn't getting as much attention as they rightfully deserve. And I think opening up the door to an exclusive community for those really helps you onboard a lot more masses to Hedera via, a Spanish speaking audience, which I applaud you guys on. Obviously, most of you guys are from Spain, so it comes it's a lot closer to home at the end of the day.
yeah,
But, it's really cool to see that door open up and onboard plenty of new users as well.
yeah, yeah. Because that's something that has changed a lot. I 2 years ago, I remember that it was hard for me, to find someone in Spain to talk about Hedera
Yeah.
or HBAR. But now, I mean, most of the top, crypto Spanish influencers or creators on YouTube and stuff, they talk a lot about Hedera, about SaucerSwap, about HBAR Street. So Now it's you know
Growing.
it's gone the opposite. So that's good, and most of them we have very good relationship with them. They joined the Kabila Creators Council, so it's very interesting how things change so fast. And as you were saying, it's a big audience, so hopefully we can onboard them into better.
Most definitely. With having a team of over 8 individuals, I'm curious to know, how are you able to afford keeping these individuals at a full time basis? Obviously, Hedera is a quite, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's a very big market cap for this entire crypto industry. But the, I guess, retail side of things is a lot smaller compared to, say, Solana or Ethereum. We don't necessarily have nearly as much influx capital coming into our
Yeah,
markets to really, be able to afford a humongous team to an extent. Not necessarily saying 8 or 9 people is a humongous team, but overall,
yeah,
if they are full-time employees, they have, their own bills and their own
yeah.
livelihoods that they need to worry about as well. But I'm curious, how is Kabila and yourself able to afford to manage and operate a team this big?
So it hasn't been easy. From past experiences, with other startups, I knew that people need to get paid well from day one. Because it's a very challenging space. So probably half of my time it's been fundraising and bringing funding from many different sources, because as you know this is a very complicated space in a very market. We were born on July 2022, so we came from the bottom of the bottom. So we started fundraising there. We first did a family friends and full series with a few business angels. They're not business angels, they're entrepreneurs that I knew from the marketing world. They are successful. We're friends. They trust me, so they put some money. So we got started. Then we got some funding, small grant from the Each Foundation, so that helped a bit at the beginning. Then um, we got another round, bigger round with other private investors, another grant from the Hashraf Association, and we got that was a very important one. We got a Neotech grant from the European Innovation Fund, so that was a big one. Um, and then sales, NFT sales, platform fee commissions. Um, yeah, I mean, we've been doing everything we could, to get
Yeah,
the funding so we could get going. And of
that's
course,
awesome.
right now we have a few other, good clients that we have closed. That's also helping. So yeah, it hasn't been easy. It's been difficult. Well, we managed to get that funding for
I
for the bear
applaud you on
market,
it.
and now waiting for that.
It's incredible. It definitely takes a lot of work and a lot of
Yeah,
consistency to acquire the immense amount of grants, as well as raising capital through NFT funding or crowdfunding through NFTs, and just trying to just connect and network with the right individuals who you can really rely and trust on to, one, devote their own time and capital into your very own project and company, but also for them to also feel the same in regards to who you are as an individual, and so they can rely and trust into you and truly believe that you're not necessarily just going to run off with their funds.
yeah,
It's more than a handshake, one can put it, but it's also, there's a lot of trust that goes into it. And it's incredible to see how you've been able to pull it off so far. And so I truly applaud you on that. And I just wanted
yeah,
to highlight it because I thought that's something that's maybe not necessarily spoken about too much regarding the
yeah.
greater ecosystem. And I think it deserves that highlight that I emphasized on.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, I have to say that it's been a challenge
Sure.
because it's crypto, it's NFTs.
Yeah.
You know how I mean remember that you put NFTs in the GIF search bar in Twitter, and at least a few months ago it was everything about scam, whatever.
Yeah.
So it was again, and then it was Hedera. No one no one knew about Hedera. I was always pitching first about Hedera and then pitching about Kabila.
Sure.
It's been hard, but we managed to get the funding, and now I think we are now in a very good situation for hopefully we get the bull run so that accelerates everything. Yeah, I would say that now I can say that we made it, but it made me stay awake for some nights, and there are some weeks that it's difficult.
It's very hard.
You have to be persistent. You have to be. There's no way we knew we had to raise that funding. So yeah,
Paid off. Hard work pays
yeah,
off. That's for
hopefully,
sure, Mano.
yeah, yeah.
Nice. So let's talk about the CWAs. As you kind of already mentioned them through an avenue that you raised capital through. What's next for the CWA holders? Rumor has it there's a golden CWA that's escaped from the Kabila wallet. How about that?
Yeah, that was a crazy idea. We came up yesterday, like, hey, let's play the game, where people have to find the SEO on the market, and then we will find it. We have some more ideas for the market, but yeah, for the SEOs, the first thing is that the instant benefit. They provide some benefits on our tools. They have some access to some tools if you have hold a specific amount of SEOs. They provide some discounts. And now with the KBL token launch, they will be providing also early access. They will providing airdrops, for a year. And there will be one of the main accesses to the Kabila Plaza. We have many ideas on the table, but yeah, those are the things that have been shared for by now.
I'm holding strong, that's for sure. I love those things. They're amazing. But outside of the Kabila CWAs, I'm curious to know, and as many else are as well, when can we expect the KBL token to release? And what will be the strategy to successfully bring that to market on Hedera?
Yeah, there's no one like us who want the KVL out there, because I think it will also help a lot with onboarding into the products, into the
Definitely.
ecosystem. There are a few ideas that I think we think that it will help incentivize the creators and people using the products. When That's a good question. We wanted to launch it, by May or something like that, but the market just started crashing. Then we have many different opinions. Hey, you have to launch. No, don't even think on launching right now. No, you have to launch now. So you know, it's you do a token launch once in your life. I hope not to be doing more of these things. I hope it's the last one. So you need to do it right, and you cannot rush on something like this. So we are fine. We keep developing. For me, and that's another thing. For me, ideally, I would prefer to have the whole product suite launched before launching the token. I always say that. Like, there's people, no, first I will launch the token, then I will build. No, no, no. We did the opposite. We wanted to have the products first. We wanted to have product market fit. It might not be crazy because Hedera has the volume it has,
Yeah.
but we have amazing feedback for creators using our tools. So we have the tools, we have the product market fit, and now is when we want to launch the token. So just to answer your question, before we probably will have plazas and then the KVL token. So
Exciting.
both things are close, but yeah, that's the
Okay, well,
idea.
you just answered my next question as well. When can I begin to use my very own Plaza? But now I know Plazas will be coming before the KBL token. So that's a win win on both factors.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Nice. I'm excited for both of
So
them because I know that one, all of the NFTs that you guys have currently already built out will have access to a potential airdrop of the KBL token. And then the plazas, it's really just going to be a place for all creators to really cultivate a strong community around their NFTs and anything else like content, like, information, education, and really any type of resource that may be vital and or help the community surrounding, whatever creator that may be. It's exciting, and I think it's going to give you guys a leg up on Hedera especially, and probably inspire a lot of creativity around other ecosystems and networks as well.
yeah,
I I hate to say this, and it might happen, but the moment you guys release plazas, who knows? You might see somebody on like Solana or Ethereum trying to replicate the same thing you guys have because of how successful it could possibly be. But that's just me throwing it out there because there's some people out there who like to just take rather than make. That's
yeah,
what I look at it like.
yeah. I mean, that's a question. We made ourselves know. Like, of course, this is a space that it's it's very fast. I mean, everything moves so fast. It's just kind of
It's
crazy.
insane.
Um, but I think that if you build great products and you keep focusing on your client and what they need, and you're obsessed on what they need, and you constantly refine your products, and you manage, as you were saying, to keep over the years building and providing great products, I think you have great chances of having a successful product community. The other thing is that it happens it's I mean the plazas, it will be a socialified space, so it's a token gated space, it's a decentralized space. We don't own your connections. If you don't like plazas, you can take your community and go to other place.
Of course.
um, so at the same time, the good thing about that is that I think it will happen something similar to what happened with the email protocol. So there is a lot more competence. There's a lot more companies that are about email newsletter. There's Clavillo, there is Mailchimp, there are a lot more competent
Sure.
competitors. So it's a more fragmented space. So there is a space for companies that do things right. So if there's a Solana thing, similar, that'll be good.
Hedera's
I also think
superior.
that
We know that.
I think it's a competitive advantage. Maybe
Yeah.
we don't see it now. Hopefully, we will see it. But I think so.
Yeah, I mean, you guys will be first mover advantages with something like this. I've personally never seen what you guys are planning to build with plazas built or created anywhere else yet. And building it on Hedera is the most superior tech within pretty much all of cryptocurrency and Web3. So it's exciting to see that first mover advantage and really releasing a new product to Hedera for the entire community and beyond to utilize. I didn't want
I'm
to.
excited,
I
man.
didn't want you to take any offense to that, Manu. I just was throwing it out
No, no,
there
no,
that,
no, no,
yeah,
no offense at all. I
of
love that
course,
question. I mean, yeah, these are things that we have to play with.
of
Yeah,
course,
but as you were saying, I think the whole team, we're very excited on plazas. We will go step by step. So it's always the same thing. Like, we had many ideas, many features that we want to have on the version one of plazas. No, but we'll be launching a first version with a few features, and then based on, we have a roadmap, development roadmap, but then we get a lot of feedback from the community, and this is how we build products. Of course, we think with the team and say if it makes sense. But I think that Hedera provides they provide the things to revolutionize, like to completely change how we connect in the social space, how we monetize. Um, that it's something that can happen already, that we just need the infrastructure, but I think it's
indeed.
going to change the way we fundraise, the way we make business, the way we make do marketing a lot. But we're so early, man. We are very early.
I know Adrian's excited. He just released his NFT collection. He's getting ready for Plaza, so it's got to be around the corner sometime soon. That's for sure.
Yeah,
But I got some
yeah,
community questions for you. I already know the answer to this first one because I already answered it on X earlier today. But does Manu hold any candy? From Jack Timothy.
yeah, definitely. And recently I told Jack, hey, I bought a good pack. So
Nice.
yeah, but yeah, definitely, I normally always try to get one NFT or one. I mean, I have tokens from all companies in on Hedera, all
Sure.
HTS tokens, probably NFTs from everyone. I normally don't do NFT trading, not
Neither
because
do
I
I.
don't
Of
like it, but I just buy what I like. I
course.
try to support projects that I respect, and then they are in the wallet. So yeah,
Most definitely. Yeah, I just buy what I like as well, and kind of just that's it. At the end of the day, I mean, my way of supporting most projects is really just giving them an outlet to speak. At the end of the day, providing this podcast and any other place that may seem fit and necessary for those project founders to gain more exposure. I think that's a really key and
definitely,
my personal way of providing value back to the project itself.
definitely, man. We need more of this. We need
Of
more of
course.
this. Yeah.
So how's the creator council been so far? I know you guys have a handful of members so far, but what's that looking like?
So this is something that I really enjoyed building. We have now somehow stopped the activity, or we put it in standby. We told them,
Sure.
because the token was, being released, postponed. But yeah, I mean, we tried to make something simple, but we made like a process. We have like a share folder. We have, we measure everything. So we try also to somehow gamify the contributions, so that it's fair for all content creators in the council. And then one of the missions that we have is that they create their plazas, they use their products, so
That's what I was
they are the
thinking you'd
best
go.
to provide. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the challenge. There are some of them that are 100% into NFTs, into Hedera. It's very easy. But then there are others that, yeah, but NFTs, maybe not yet. We will see. Maybe in a few months. Oh yeah, good, but Hedera, I don't know. Well, I mean, it's good to have different points of view, and that
Yeah.
helps us, see where we can improve. So it's I think it will help a lot, the Creators Council.
I think anybody who's on the fence with creating their own collection, especially with utilizing plazas, all they need to do, I mean, if they're worried about like selling out or whatnot, they just need to release a free collection, provide it out to the market for free, and then whoever buys it and picks it up, picks it up. If there's some left out there on the launch pad, close off the launch pad, limit the supply. And then from there, you have a set collection that can utilize your plaza and access it through that. And it's not like you're trying to raise a ton of capital if you want to utilize the plazas without
Yeah,
worrying about everything that goes into creating an NFT. Well, there's the problem solved. You don't have to worry because you just gave away a free NFT. And so
exactly.
it's not about raising capital, it's more or less just about cultivating a community, that is token gated through via the plazas, which is cool. Really cool. I'm super
Definitely,
excited.
definitely. No, but definitely, I think I mean, we had a huge lack of tooling. We still, but now at
Yeah.
least we have many things to make it very easy with the tools now. If I remember, 2 or 3 years ago, how it was to mint a collection or sell a collection. Now
Yeah.
it's now very easy. Now the next step is, and I think this is one of the main stoppers for people launching NFTs, which is, how do I provide value to my NFT holders? Okay, they start to think, okay, I want to do this. Okay, I can make this, but now, do I have to build my own blockchain application? Do I have to, I don't know, use? It's very limited,
Yeah.
the infrastructure to provide utility to your NFT. So that's one of the things that we wanted to solve with plazas. And the other thing is education. Like, as I was telling you, like, I spend half of my time on fundraising in the first 2 years, and the other half mostly on product and team management. Now I want to spend half of my time on content creation. I don't know if you have seen it, but since September, I'm trying to find more time, because there's so many things that we learn that I want to now, talk about a strategy, talk about pricing, talk about
Yeah.
branding and storytelling when you launch your NFTs. We don't have all the answers, but we learn a lot from these years, and I think now we need to, somehow, because this is something new. It's not something that has been done before, so we need a lot more education.
Most definitely. Education is key in this market, especially just
Yeah.
informing people how you execute and, the right avenues to take. I like to look at
Yeah.
this place as the wild, wild west of Web3 at the end of the day. And
Yes.
it's pretty much like you're walking down a dusty road. You got to figure things out on your own terms and really just make it what you want to make it. But with that comes a lot of trial and error and refining the process. And, at the end of the day, if you're able to find someone who's already went through that journey and who can assist and help you alleviate a lot of the small tedious problems that you may come across along your journey,
Yeah.
it's going to save you a lot of time, energy, and money. And
Definitely.
if you can learn from successful people like yourself, I don't think there's anything to lose from that, especially if you enjoy making content. That's all that matters, is that you're happy at the end of the day as well, Manu.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, if it was for me, I just want to have the tooling for creating my plaza,
Sure.
and just, I mean, I would
Yeah.
prefer to be creating rather than the whole thing, man. This is just crazy creating the whole thing. But hopefully eventually I'll have the time to create my plaza, to create my community there, and to provide some, I would like to share what I've learned in, Web3, Web2, and stuff like that. So yeah, we are building the product we want to have as creators.
That's
So
amazing.
yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. I got one last community question for you. It is, when will the Siwas have their very own racer within the Rocket Team racing game that Dragma Labs has been working on? This was by Bitcoin Milk earlier today.
When will it have the
Its own.
uh,
So, have you seen the Dragma Labs racing, the
yeah,
Rocket
yeah,
Team racing? He is asking
yeah,
pretty much when will it have its own. When will Kabila have your own character within the game?
I know that we had this conversation with Jack, but I don't know.
I don't know.
I
Yeah,
have to say it. But yeah, it would be cool, man. It would be cool to
would be.
have some Siwas there. We are we have started. working in, as you know, the first batch of CWS was made by our designer,
Yep.
and then we work with Hungry. But we have the summer CWS, which is like a special edition, and then we work with Hungry
Hmm.
for the Hungry edition. So we want now to work with another artist for the next batch. So yeah, we're gonna be working in CWS with art, and we would like to have the CWS in different games, different places.
That's awesome.
That's not our main thing, but it's fun. So we always try to have the CWS everywhere.
Awesome. Yeah, that's incredible. Is there anything else you'd like to spill alpha related or just any updates, anything you'd like to mention before we close things off, Manu? I know I've already emphasized and highlighted a lot, but there's probably some things I'm missing that you might have to say that I might not have
As I
asked.
just the last things, I always like to thank the community. I know that to me it's crazy that there's people supporting you in every way in a bear market, financially, being there, sharing content about Kabila, using our tools. So it's for me that's the future, not depending on BCs, and that's
Yeah.
cool, that's great. But if you can be with your client, with your community, which is then the ones who know about the whole thing that you're doing, that's the best thing. And the other thing is, I would suggest everyone to go and create their own, NFT collection, brand NFTs, and create their plaza. My opinion is that, again, this is the not the future of funding, but mainly the future of marketing. There's so many stuff, so many ideas that we have, that other companies have on, how tokenized communities will change the whole social space. So starting to create your tokenized community is something that you cannot then do like this. Now it's something that takes time.
Yeah.
Holders are not like just regular followers that you can buy with ads. It's something that takes time, but that's the best you can do, as a creator, as a brand. So start creating your tokenized community. And yeah, that's it. I think, and hopefully we get a good, nice bull run in the next months, and we
Most
get some
definitely.
liquidity and awareness on there, man.
Mano, it's been a pleasure as always, and I hope to be able to host you yet again in 6 months to a year from now as well, and see all the progress that has been continue to be made from not only myself but your team at Kabila as well. It's been a
Thank you.
pleasure, and ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed today's content, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. All of Kabila's links will be linked down below. And this has been the TateOnChain podcast, and we will see you all next episode. Peace.
Ready to transform your learning experience? Step into the future with the Learn to Earn platform on Hedera. Choose how you learn: academic books in hard copy or NFT form. That's right, NFTs. Whether you prefer the traditional feel or a digital interactive journey, the choice is yours. Dive into the NFT, not just for the book, but for all the tools you need for success. Download the book, access tests, all within a seamless, immersive interface. Forget traditional logins. Simply scan the QR code, connect to our platform, and start your Learn to Earn journey. Pass your tests and watch your success turn into real rewards with Gcoin, our exclusive digital currency. Imagine learning at your own pace, acing exams, and reaping tangible benefits. It's not just education, it's a transformative journey towards success. Join the future of learning at gilmore-estates.net. Scan, learn, earn. It's that simple, and it's revolutionary.